this news we received over the weekend of we're pregnant. The dad vibe. We are pregnant. There's a lot of hearsay, a lot up for interpretation on the apps. On Will looks disappointed. He's bummed that it's a girl. I know I put the guy that looked excited and he's smiling but has a gun to his head.
Right.
There's a lot up for interpretation, but I will say this. I am disappointed. And it was one of those things.
Oh, you okay? You're doubling down.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, my wife, she was surprised just like me. Your boy, it's more of like, because I was telling you even before, I felt like I was separated enough from being pregnant, because I think we're at like 12 weeks right now or 13 weeks. Separated enough to be like, yo, if I get another Rue, like I'm playing with house money. Like I'd be satisfied. I'd be solid. Like, do I actually want a boy, yada, yada. And it was when I saw that pink to where I realized how badly I did want a boy. And not that it's necessarily, there's no chances for having a boy, because I could obviously take that risk again. But also it's like, I didn't know if I wanted 3.
Right.
And now that pink came out, I'm going to have 2 girls. I almost am certain that we have to go for 3 to go for the boy. So that was part of my disappointment on my face too. It's like, now we got to go 3. And I don't know. I don't think I was ready. I don't think I wanted 3.
Right.
You hear everybody, once you're outnumbered, it's war at
yeah,
their
you're
house.
playing zone the whole time.
Yeah.
What you just explained is how middle child syndrome develops. Everything you just said. Like, I don't know what this child's name's going to be, what her personality's going to be like. I'm sure she's going to be great if she's anything like Rue.
Yeah.
However, when that third and probably boy comes out, that's why they call the middle child the forgotten child.
Especially if she listens to this episode of her old man.
Yeah.
Just being
literally sat there with my
sweetheart.
wife and we were scrolling through your Instagram Sunday night, and she goes, "If we have another girl, you can't post that." I was like, "Why? That's funny. Like, funny's funny. That's what funny is."
Yeah.
She's like, "But our daughter, if it is a daughter," which, by the way, now that like women, when they get their periods, they like Bluetooth sync up when they're always together. They do that.
Yeah.
And they all get on the same period schedule. I am a firm belief that men that hang out together, we also sync up. I'm doomed to have another girl.
We're on the same sperm cycle.
Yes, we're on the same sperm cycle. And
you can break the mold.
don't say that. I'm trying to reverse psychology of the universe. Like, hey, there's no shot I'm going to have a boy. Am I right? You know?
But are you openly playing the joke in the game? Because here's the only thing.
Here's the
only thing I'll caution is I felt like I was separate enough to where I was like, I wouldn't be too disappointed.
My wife,
girls rip.
My wife. Oh, by the way, the reason why Taylor said that is because eventually she's gonna see that post and she's gonna be upset. Anyway, onward. I've already told my wife I will genuinely be disappointed if it's a girl. Genuinely, I will, and then I'll be happy because it's a girl. It's a healthy baby. We can scratch off all those boxes that all people say when they're trying to be politically correct about having a kid. We want a healthy baby. Blah blah blah. That's all that matters. True. I want a boy. I feel like I need a boy. I just want to feel what the other side of the fence is like. I want to see how green that grass is. God, I didn't even touch it that time.
You tipped it.
I tipped it.
Yeah.
Better?
That was unnecessary.
I was making sure the mic worked. I wasn't even doing that.
Stay
I was
focused.
just making sure the mic
The
worked.
boy.
I just want a boy.
Every competitive male wants a boy.
Right.
They want offspring. They want an heir
And
to
you
the
do
throne.
the
throne.
The thing that bothers me the most is watching you and your process of you and Charo getting pregnant and you stopping from the sauna, only doing the cold, like reading the literature on how to have a boy. And I'm like, he's really going to pull it off, to the point where we're coming back after doing this podcast with Kirk Cousins. I'm thinking there's no shot this man's going to have a girl, because we had a full conversation about boy, girl, blah, blah, this, that, and the other, just having a good convo.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking in my head, no fucking shot Will's having a girl. Like, he's for sure going to have a boy.
Dude.
And in my selfish mind, I'm thinking, that means I have a shot to have a boy.
If I break the mold, then it'll
because
just
we're
be a
Bluetooth
domino
synced up.
effect.
We
Yeah.
got to be Bluetooth synced up. We're around each other way too much.
But now you have to break the mold, man. I don't know, whatever it takes, bro. And I stopped sauning for how many months? Like
40
all last year,
at
I
least
didn't.
45 days.
When I learned that it took 45 days, like if you expose yourself to heat, you can kill off your sperm, and it takes 45 days for it to just get back to baseline. Because there's a part of me that's like, okay, I won't hit the sauna like a week out from ovulation, during ovulation, but then I'll hit the sauna right after, because then I'll know I'll have another month or another few weeks. Because you're trying to tap into the biohacking.
Yeah.
Get your T levels up.
Which makes you also believe that maybe biohacking isn't real.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
And then I do all those things, and I'm like, months not hitting the sauna, because I'm like, not heating the seat up, not hitting the hot tub.
Right.
Not staying in a hot shower too long, all those things. And I'm just thinking, like, we gotta have a boy.
I know, dude.
But we're excited.
I'm excited for
We need girl dads to unite. You're one.
Unite.
I'm gonna need you to write me, whether it's a mini book, a big book. I'm gonna need something about fathering to girls, what to look for, what to watch out for. Hey, don't do this like me. Like, be better than me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need this handbook from you, and I need dads to unite because look, being a girl dad rips. I think having Rue and having a daughter, I'm like, oh, every guy that is going to become a dad, I hope we all get a girl because having a girl is the best.
It's incredible. But
now knowing I'm outnumbered, Waffle's a girl, and my wife thankfully is a girl, and now I'm going to have Rue and she who has not been named, and it's like I'm going to be surrounded by all this estrogen. And God bless you if you happen to get a third. I hate putting that in the universe. But that is where guys go silent. They get so outnumbered, and that's how they just become these men that sit in the corner at all holidays and just.
If you could even call them men.
Yeah. And they just get snipped, bro. I mean, you'll probably get snipped, but you'll also get snipped. Your soul will get snipped.
Yeah.
And you'll just be that quiet dad at parties, and it's going to be like, whatever happened to Taylor? And it's going to be like, he had all those girls, man. his voice just can't be heard at home. He's too. They've led him to believe that he is too stupid to talk. And now he's just like, now you're scared to even say a word at any of these parties because even when we have fun and we're laughing, we're having a good time. Like, man, it was good to see Taylor. Your drive home is just gonna be like, so you really went ahead and said that about when Willow or Willow speaks up. You really said that about so and so, and you're just a herd mentality. You just get put back in the corner, and it's scary. And I feel for those girl dads out there. We need to unite. We need to talk about these things.
Listen. Don't ever do what you just did again. Because right now you're talking about how excited you are about a situation that I'm already in. Knowing that there's hope down the road because you've already decided in your head you're going to have a 3. I'm already staring at the barrel of a gun having 2 little girls and knowing that this is my last shot at happiness. And you're going to do that.
I'm sorry, bro. I've experienced these dads that I come to learn. I'm like, oh, these are guys.
These are good men.
But you never know about it until it's like, oh yeah, he's an outdoorsman. He goes hunting all the time. He does this. He chops wood. And you're like, well, why don't I ever see that guy? And it's like, well, look at the environment. He's surrounded. He's been snipped from the soul, and you got to bring it out of him.
I hate here's what we need to do.
If you do have a third, I will make it my mission.
I'm gonna have
neither of us get snipped. Our souls get snipped. To stand strong, to stand up.
Can I ask you this question? I got to pivot out of this. Okay. I got to get out of here.
I know. It's like, I'm making it about you and having a third girl.
Yeah. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations on you.
We are fired up. We are very fired up.
Allegedly. I do have to leave in a few seconds.
Yeah, you're
actually. Right. Should I wait when Taylor gets pregnant? Should I wait until the baby comes out? Or should I?
You did hit it. You did touch it. But what happened? What happens?
What is it?
It's the cable's fucked up. I got to play with it.
Can we get a new cable?
Yeah.
How's that?
Sorry for raising my voice right there, but I'm just thinking we're in the trenches right now. We come back to the sidelines like, well, can we get a new fucking iPad?
Is that better? Okay. And this is for the group. Sammy, you can chime in if you want to. Do I wait to find out the sex of the baby until birth, or should I do it at the 12-week mark?
Birth.
I got one birth.
It's not a question for me. That's you, man.
Hey, Sammy, that's such a cop out.
Sammy, that's the thing about Bussin' With The Boys, brother. We're a team here.
Yeah,
we're a team.
You know ahead of time. You got to know.
Okay, so I got 1-1. I want to hear you last.
Okay.
Have you waited ever before, or have you done 12-week mark both for Win and Willow?
12-week mark both. The first time I actually found out, I asked the doctor, and I was like, hey, is the sex of my child on that sheet? And they go, yep, says girl here. So anyway, what we're looking at, and I was like livid about that situation. The second one, I wanted to wait. We get the card, and I know that it's in the envelope. And you know me, I'm gonna stare at this unopened card, knowing there's information there that I want.
Mm-hmm.
So to answer your question, I have never waited for the delivery.
I think you wait solely because at 12-week mark, it's a lot easier to be disappointed when you see your child being born, regardless if it's a boy or girl. I think the emotion will take over. You're not gonna be upset at birth, even if it's a girl.
I think you're wrong.
All right.
I think you're wrong because having 2 kids, having your first
I've
kid.
never had a kid, so I don't fucking know.
Like having your first kid is like everything's so new. Everything's so new. You're experiencing so much. Everyone's like, it's magical, blah, blah. Everyone's so excited to hear the news. What's the kid, blah, blah, blah. The second time you have a kid, your second kid it's not less special to you, but it's like more normalized to everybody else. Oh, they're having their second kid. And then by the time you get to the third kid, it's like, hey, congrats, I guess. Like, you guys about to be outnumbered. It's more becomes a burden to other people around you saying, hey, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah,
I don't
cares
think
what they say.
I know. I'm just saying like the excitement.
Just dad's talking.
The excitement of that feels like it goes away when you're watching from a bird's eye view of how everybody
Safe
kind of
space.
operates. Safe space.
Dad's talking.
I don't
And-
actually think you'd be able to wait though.
I don't think I would
Hey,
either.
Jack,
however.
but I do. We definitely appreciate that perspective because that's a real perspective that parents have. It's like once it happens, it's like that is the beauty or the positivity or the silver lining of doing something like that. My question to you before I answer: would you rather take one to the head or 7 to the chest?
One to the head.
Then wait, because then you just take it right then and there.
That's a good point.
And then if you take 7, you do it at 12-week mark, you're just taking them to the chest. Yeah, you have time to kind of wrap your head around and everything else, but you won't have enough time
Why didn't you
during
wait?
the birth.
You like?
I was excited to
misery?
see the boy. I was excited to see the blue.
I told
Great
Taylor-
point. Maybe the next time we will wait.
Yeah, for your third, are you gonna wait?
Do what?
For your third, are you gonna wait? Maybe you guys make a pact to wait.
You ain't even got 2 out yet. For the third, you gonna wait?
Yeah, we'll make a pact. If I have a third, I will wait as well.
But I'll wait too.
Yeah, you basically have to decide. Oh, I mean, you
Here's
guys
the
aren't
issue.
pregnant yet.
Here's the issue. Is like there's another person involved with making the child that might have to find out.
Listen, I think women are easily on board with that.
See, Talon's against it. I've actually
Really?
had this conversation with her, and she said, I want to get like the nursery set up. Like that's, she enjoys that. The nesting period is what they call it for the women that are pregnant. Like they love getting the room ready. And I told her, I was like, if I wait, I'm not going in that room. I don't want to see anything. And I'll have to, essentially, Talon will now know the information that I will not know.
Okay, devil's advocate,
Go ahead.
because I feel like you guys are both kind of this way. You guys usually do like neutralish style colors.
That's true.
You could easily shape up the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the vibe of your house is very much like a good natural tones.
Yeah. Browns and grays.
Yeah.
Earthy.
colors. You could do something like that.
Unearthed.
Just talk to the wife and maybe we'll have the pack next week. Because I'd be scared too.
No, I'm not going to talk to her about it. Go ahead. I'm in. I'm in.
It's gonna be all right, guys?
Yeah, it's gonna be
What,
alright.
having a dog?
Dude, it's gonna be great. I truly like at this point. Number one, I've already accepted and embraced it, but being a girl dad, I feel like I'm built for being a girl dad.
Think about it from the view of capitalism. We are a girl dad pod, and if you had a boy, we would have to change some things, maybe sell some more stuff. But right now, the brand is the brand.
You're right. However, I was excited to maybe do our announcement by holding the boy mom hats.
Oh,
Because
That
that's
would've been
one where
fun.
we still got, and by the way, everybody who's looking for our boy mom merch, I believe that's going to be restocked here in a couple weeks. But as far as dads and girl dads uniting on this front, we have all of our Father's Day merch. That line has dropped. We have some Carhartt hoodies, which would go great for your old man, especially come fall time when it's hunting season.
or Father's Day.
Or Father's Day, yeah. Get out, get ahead. As far as golf polos, golf gear, hats, different style of hats. We're with the 47 brand now. I'm wearing one as we speak. These Q-zips feel incredible. Proud girl dads, we got to unite. And look, I know, like, we talk disappointment. We might be laughing, and then, like, you know, your wife or somebody might be like, hey, what if the daughter sees this? We're in a safe space having a good time on the bus. I'm being vulnerable with the dads out there right now, with the audience out there listening. I am very excited about having another daughter. I am so curious which I feel like every parent thinks about, is what they're going to look like. Are they going to be similar to Rue? Is she going to come out? She's just going to have dark hair. Like, we're stoked for that. It is awesome. And Charo, my wife, she was just as surprised as the boy, more in like a laughing way, like looking at my reaction and everything like that. But throughout the entire day, I had to tell my wife, like, hey, can you put Rue down? I need to go work out. I had to go to Boost, get some work in. I ran 2 miles on Sunday. I was like, I got to continue to sweat. And it's just like, I had to work it out. But every time we'd be driving, she'd be like, babe, if it feels any better to you, like, there was zero part of me that thought we were going to have a girl. Like, she was ready to, like, be a boy mom. It just felt like the stars were aligned. Before we got the cake out, and Rue, she had all the opposite symptoms from the first one. So like a mother's tale, that kind of tells you that it could be a boy or a different gender because you're not experiencing the same symptoms, like as far as sickness and everything else. And Rue was saying brother more. Rue was saying boy more. So you're kind of like leaning into some of those. it'd be like, hey, what'd you dream about last night? Like when we wake her up, she would even say like brother and stuff like that. So there was just a weird, and again, I felt like I had that separation to where I wasn't going to care like I thought I was going to, as far as like, oh man, we're gonna have to have 3 now type of thing, or go for 3, God willing that God would give me a boy, give me an heir. But also when I was getting out the cake to cut it and do our little thing together, there was a Rue's blue sippy cup was sitting out. She was on her dark green passy. I just felt like I'm about to see blue here, boys. Like we're really about to have a boy. I'm gonna have to wrap my head around now becoming a boy dad and those fears of like, okay, I know how I've been with Rue. I hope I can stay in this same empathetic, wrapped around the finger and not be too hard on the little pup. Like all dads, I feel like get nervous about with raising their son. And then when it was pink, bro, you saw the reaction. Mitch can put up the photos and stuff, but
We had it up earlier.
it was a shock. But we are very excited. I mean, it's still fairly early. We've gotten out of the first trimester. Knock on wood that everything still goes well according to plan and everything else, and that we do have a healthy child, because it'll be sick. Like Rue will have a best friend forever. I mean, you get to see Win and Willow play with each other now because kids don't really like playing with each other until they're like 3. But now that Willow's 3 going on 4, and you see how she interacts with Win and how Win interacts with her, like, and you hear Taylor talk about it and Taylor talk about it, very fired up to Rue to have like a best friend, because we have neighbors who have a 2 and 3-year-old. And anytime they're outside playing, like you see Rue standing there like wanting to go over and hang out. And you just see the dynamic between the brother and sister just playing with each other, and they always got each other to where, babysitters, you kind of got like Rue kind of goes through her thing. If it's a new babysitter, we get really sad because we feel like she thinks we're leaving her forever with this person. Now with this new one coming in, Rue will be able to teach her or be around her, and she'll just have a playmate, dude. And it's going to be sick and awesome. So to say a lot of positive things about this, because I don't want to make it a joke and like I'm disappointed the entire time for the wives out there or the girlfriends to stop making their boys listen to the podcast. But it's going to be awesome, man.